everybody.
Good night, everyone. You know, it gets weird every time. Like, and I see myself, and it's not like I don't see these pictures all the time, but it's still like, oh shit. Anyways, we are back at it again. Another night. Happy Sunday to you all. I love to see y'all faces. Hey, Rel, Z, Nikki, do what we do. Introduce yourselves.
Ladies first.
As always, Z. That's my name. You can follow me on everything A to Z on Instagram.
Hello,
Nikki.
everyone. It's Nikki. Back at it again.
And it's your boy
Rel.
Rel, aka The Plug, aka Polo_Rel on Instagram. If you need it, I got it. If I ain't got it, I can get it. Holla at your boy.
Legally.
I'm thinking now what I need.
Legally.
I'm thinking
All
now
right,
what I
so
need.
of course, y'all know this is sponsored by Elegance and Focus magazine. If you have never purchased one of their magazines, please check it out. The next magazine is dropping anytime soon, and your girl is all up in it. So support. And I am your lovely host, Tonilisa. Now, the topic of the night. Do you know?
I do.
We know. We know.
Oh, before I forget, we are having a guest join us for tonight. He will be joining us soon. We call him Momo, but his name is Maurice.
I just call him Mo. I don't call him Mo. It's just Mo.
Right.
That's
Momo.
like how I call you Tai Tai, but you're like, nah, call me that.
It's
Momo.
right.
I get it. So, Z, tell them what the topic of the night is.
So the topic of the night is dating in a different race and culture. And being
Dating
in a relationship outside your race.
Right. Dating outside your race and culture. Now, being that Tai Tai is the only guy here at the moment, I want to know, have you dated outside of your race?
Yes, I have. Plenty of times.
Plenty of time?
Yes. I still love my black women, but I love all women. So I have plenty of times.
So when you say you dated outside of your race, are we talking white women? Are we talking? What we talking?
I've dated a white woman. I've dated a Spanish woman. I've dated Asian woman. You know, I don't discriminate.
Someone wrote, I'll pass. Hey, what? Why? What's the problem?
Yeah, listen, I don't discriminate. Now, most of my life, yes, I've been with black women, but again, I have dated women of other ethnicities.
Is that Momo?
Mo, you gotta put your camera on, baby.
Word.
I know. Give me 2 minutes. I literally just got inside. So
all right.
Yes, okay, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have on clothes right now. We have to give him I
have on clothes. Jesus Christ. So where are the white women at?
Where the white women at?
Wait.
I can't. You know what? You lucky I don't know how to drop you out right now. So, Rel was saying that he dated outside his race. Now, tell me again, what we talking about?
I've dated a white woman. I've dated an Asian woman. I've dated a Spanish woman. Now, there is a little bit of a hurdle to get over when dating outside of your race, especially when introducing them to your family. My family, you know, they are all supportive, you know, my immediate family, my mother, my father, my brothers and everything, but it's a little different. You can see it's a little tense around people that aren't black. I don't think it should be tense, but it is.
So were you getting looks from like other black women when you was outside with your snowflake?
Of course.
Snowflake. What if it was it wasn't only snowflake, it was a Chinese mixed rice?
Yeah, I dated an Asian before.
I'm just joking.
Yo,
But
bro, basically, I don't know if y'all ever had a Grenadian cooker where they just toss everything in a pot.
oh
He
my
just tried them
God.
all.
No,
No,
but
He
okay,
just
but
that's
tried
when
them
not
you
true
all.
say
because
Asian,
I haven't dated anybody from Australia.
so but what Asian? Do you mean Indian Asian or do you mean like
I mean,
actually
I mean
like
Asian,
Japanese,
like
Korean?
Chinese Asian. She was Chinese.
She was Chinese. Okay,
Yes.
because we gotta get it correct. Because there's different types of there's Chinese, there's Korean, there's Japanese, so it's different.
Oil down. Thank you, George. Elegance and Focus is in the house. Shout out to you for sponsoring us. Love you bunches. Now, I'll say this, right? So I've never found myself attracted to a white man. I've never seen a future with me and a white man. It's no shade to people who date outside their race. I've just never seen it for myself. It doesn't mean that I've closed myself off to it. I've just never seen a
And,
white man and be like, damn, I want to be with him.
and why is
But
that?
my chocolate brothers, girl, you know they say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
That's
So
a
I
fact.
like to drink juice.
so Tonilisa, would
I
you date
like
somebody
juice.
who's Indian? They still technically brown, black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they not chocolate. You know, they not dark
Some of them are
chocolate.
chocolate. I've seen
Not.
some of them are
Here's the thing.
chocolate, like
But
dark
there's
as me.
many different chocolates, right? Remember, there's many different chocolates on the shelf. You have your favorite brand that you always go to. And my brand,
Your brand
But
is
when
what?
is it? But when is it that brand don't work for you anymore? You want to you should seek out a different brand.
Your,
nah,
your,
I'm gonna
your,
stick with
your brand is what?
Exactly.
Tony, you
What
gotta
is your
think about
brand,
that.
Tony Lisa?
it.
What's your brand?
I like my African brothers. I love my African brothers, you know.
Just
You just rub
African?
I
your
don't want to
skin.
say African American.
You caramel skin. You know that, right? So don't rub your skin and say that. That's
First of
caramel.
all,
That's caramel.
first of all, there's no separation here. We all black.
Okay. I'm just saying, what shade do you like?
I'm
Because
not.
they have white chocolate too. I'm
Yes,
just
they do.
saying. I'm just
I'm
saying.
passing the white chocolate on the light skin chocolates.
You
I
don't
like
like the light skin
my
chocolate?
milk chocolate and my dark chocolate.
Dang, so you don't like the light chocolates?
Why y'all coming for me?
No,
Have
I'm
y'all
coming
dated?
for you. We
Have
just
y'all
trying to
dated a white
understand.
man?
I'm telling
Have y'all
Drake.
dated a white man?
I have.
I'm telling Drake. I'm telling Drake.
I've dated multiple white men.
Oh, Z, I
My
don't
thing
know about
is,
multiple. I only have
when it
one.
comes to
I've
Drake,
had not multiple at the same time, but I've
No, I
dated
know.
them. Like I ain't not like that, but but I've dated them, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
There you go.
And
listen,
I think my issue with it was I needed for them to understand I'm a black woman. And are you okay with dealing with a black woman? Because especially with their family members or their siblings, I don't want to have any issues with them having issues with race. If you have issues, I'm dating you because I don't have issues with race. Is your family going to have that issue? Some of them, a lot of the families, like I dated one Italian boy, they didn't have issues with it because they have family members that are Sicilian, that are very dark of my complexion, so it really didn't bother them. Like he had family members that was dark as me, so it didn't really bother him. But there are some that it does bother,
That is true. That is
and
so
it's
true.
not necessarily the family members, it could be their siblings.
That
Well,
is
I
so
had an
true.
issue where it wasn't the parents, it was the siblings.
so Nikki, I am curious. Have big, you know what? Another thing that scared me, they be like all white men. Anyways, Nikki, have you dated outside your
No,
race?
Finish your
What they
sentence.
say? What they
No,
say,
no.
Tony Lisa? What they
You
say?
started and you stopped.
Wait,
Finish
what
your
you say?
sentence.
They say?
Finish your
I
sentence.
never finished my sentences.
No, finish your sentence. Finish it. Don't cut it off. No, you can't start it and not finish it. Finish it.
You know when you like what you like?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's
no,
all.
you were gonna say something. Just say it. It's an open
The
space.
the average size for white and Asian is just not the size that I'm looking for in reality. So I rather stick to where I'm at. But I'm still curious to know if Nikki dated outside of her race before.
Yes, black brothers. We standing strong, black brothers.
Y'all be
So-
surprised though. Don't be. Y'all be surprised.
Right. I was going to say something. All right. Right. I was going.
Y'all be
address that.
surprised.
Not all y'all holding, but
Not all y'all packing like y'all think
right.
y'all.
But yes. So I have dated out of my race. Yes, I've dated a white guy.
Mama.
Hello. Oh.
Okay, can y'all see me?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes.
everyone. Greetings.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So
Okay.
Nikki is telling us that she dated outside of her race.
Yes. I dated a white guy, but at the time I was young.
Why?
And I was a little immature myself because the black brothers was feeling some way about me being with this white guy. We've had an incident where they couldn't believe I was with him.
Mm.
And they
you was getting looks and stuff on the street?
Huh?
You was getting looks and stuff like when you went out with him and stuff? See, I don't like that.
But the thing was, he really looked like a Puerto Rican. He didn't really look like the white, white guy, but
Tommy.
So when you say white, he was like no ethnicity. He was just a white American.
I believe he was white and Italian. I believe.
Yep, she was dating Tommy. She was dating
Tommy.
Oh yeah, but that's
Tommy
right. No, matter of fact, you know who he was? Training Day. Training Day. Denzel's partner.
Ethan Hawke?
The eyes.
Ethan Hawke.
Training Day. You know the Training Day? The
Oh,
movie
so he was a fine white man.
Yeah, he was a fine white man.
No, he was nice eyes, green, but he was hood white.
Oh, he was that ghetto project white.
I was trying to get Brad Pitt white, but
I'll pass on that.
I was trying to get like that Brad Pitt white, but but don't get me wrong, really nice, really respectful. It ended up not working out at the time. It's things I had to work on because I felt like uncomfortable being out with him and so many black men having so much to say. And I'm like, I'm a ride for mine, so I'm the one that's like, hold up, that's mine. Why you worry about who I'm with? Who you with? And it was causing friction. And at the time, me being younger, I couldn't I got tired of dealing with it. And then it was other things that happened. It didn't work out, but he did treat me really well. He called me beautiful, and that felt good too because a lot of men, you good, they don't know the word beautiful, even if you beautiful.
Because sometimes they feel like you don't need to hear it. It's like you're beautiful.
Right? You need to hear that. That feel good when a man is like, "Oh, you a beautiful woman," because it makes you feel not only the outside, the inside. That means it's a difference of just beauty and beautiful than your inside and your soul. So I always felt good about that part, but that ain't work out. But love is love for me. Love is love. I'm open to love is love, and if they love me and support me, they go, baby, where you at, Ed?
There you go. And I feel the same way. Love is love. Mo, you ever dated outside your race?
Who's typing?
Well, all right. Huh? What happened, Tony?
No, it just sounded like somebody was typing or doing something behind the scenes.
Do you still hear it?
I do, but I'm willing to hear what you're trying to say.
It's going in and out. I hear it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, mute your mic. If you're not talking, mute your mic. Not you, Momo.
No, I wanted to see if maybe it's coming from my.
Oh, it is you, Momo. It is you.
Huh? It is?
It is you.
That's definitely his mic.
Let me know that and come back.
All right. So,
while he handles his technical difficulties, I want to ask y'all ladies a question. Do y'all care about the looks that y'all get when you're interracial dating and other people are looking at? Do y'all really care how people look at y'all walking down the street?
I didn't.
I don't now, but I was young when I dated him. I was really young. I was probably 20. I was
But
young.
that's like me saying. That's
Now I
like me
wouldn't care.
saying.
Like I really wouldn't care.
Right, but that's like me saying if I dated a 5'7" guy and me and him walking outside holding hands and people are staring at me, then I'm gonna drop his hand because now people stare. Like I really can't give a. I'm 6'2". Most of the guys I date is gonna be shorter than me.
First of all, you ain't 6'2".
Yes, I
But
am, my guy,
I think it's
Tony,
different when
I'm
it's
6'2".
coming.
I'm taller than you.
and I am your height. When's the last time we stood together just the other day? You gonna tell me my doctor wrong? I pay
Stop
these
at
people
stop stop
millions
stop
of
at
My
dollars.
stop
doctor's been
stop
wrong
adding the hair
lately,
on top.
Tony.
Stop adding
But
the hair on the
yeah.
top. Tony, you like 5'10".
I am 6'2", my guy. Anyways,
We going
yo,
6.
because we not doing this. This right here is a brother sister riff.
I think it depends. I think it depends on the comfortability because I think you're gonna get looks from everybody, where you're black, white.
But
To
do
me,
y'all look at other people?
no, I don't look at other people. I don't care because at the end of the day, it ain't none of my business. That's between them and the person who they're in a relationship with. It's none of my business at the end of the day. And when I get looks from other people, my issue is why you all up in my business? This is
Why
between
you
me
all
and him.
in my
Like, why you
grill?
all up in here? Like, mind your
I
own.
do
You
look
don't see me.
though.
Why do
But
you
the
look?
problem is that when you,
Look.
I feel like when you look, it's like you're basically are questioning their relationship. You're questioning, well, why is he with her? What is your business? What is your
But
problem?
it's
It
not
shouldn't.
why he's with her. It could be a black woman with a white man. I still look because
But you
it,
look. But some people don't
I'm
look the
drawn
way you
to
might
it.
look. Some people might look in a way and then question the relationship and say, well, she looked too good for him. Why she with him? Or he looked too good for her. Or it could be like they don't belong together because of the race, especially in this
But people
heightened.
do that regardless of black on black. They still do that. They're like, damn, she fine as hell. Why is
Why
she
she?
with him?
It's true. That's true.
But what is it their business? It's none of their business at the end of the day, and that's the whole point. The whole point is that when I see them staring at me, it's like it's none of your business at the end of the day. Whatever you feel, that's fine, but it's still none of your. I really don't care. You can look all you want. I'm happy with this particular person, and I'm good in my relationship with that person. And at the end of the day, I'm the one with a man, and you not. So
You
And there
right.
you go. There you go.
I stopped staring because I'd be surprised
Momo.
what I be seeing when I stare too hard. I'd be like, oh, I need her, baby. I ain't gonna mind my own.
Exactly.
Hold on, let
But
me mind my
sometimes I can
business.
get what Tonilisa said saying. Like sometimes I stare and I be like, oh, he is fine. She got a good one. Like I be looking
And
like
it's not
that.
like I'm looking
Or
in a malicious way.
I know, but some people are malicious. Some people are, but I'm just saying everybody's different. To me, I'm not. It could be, oh, she's pretty or he's handsome. That's just me. But most people can be very negative about it, especially
Yeah.
the black women that don't want to see these black men with these white women. Particularly, I can give you prime examples: Kim Kardashians and the Kardashians. A lot of black women don't like the fact that these Kardashians are with all these black men. They really
But
don't
we
like
could
that.
understand why they with the chocolate men. We can
I know we
understand
can
that.
understand it, but a lot of people don't like it because of the way they. Okay, look at what happened to Khloe Kardashian and her husband. Like a lot of them feel like a lot of the men that end up with the Kardashians, they end up going downhill.
They mental health change.
Their mental health changed. They wind up. I feel like every man that ends up with a Kardashian, they it's just downhill from there for them, and it's really
Before we
sad.
go before we go forward, I am curious to know if Momo has dated a white woman
I
or
have
Or
any other race than
Asian,
your own.
I
Spanish.
date exclusively Cambodian bitches. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. No,
He said
no.
Cambodian.
I have not in my adult life. I have not dated a white woman. Now, when you say other races, you like I don't classify like Puerto Rican girls or Dominican girls as other races. They're just different types of black people to me. Um, like I never dated a J Lo type of Puerto Rican. Like the Puerto Rican girl I dated, she looked more like uh she looked more like yeah like looked more like a light skinned black girl. Like you wouldn't even know she's Puerto Rican until she started talking. So I've never dated like an actual white woman in my adult life. Now, when I was younger, I did used to have a fetish for white girls when I was younger, like in middle school. But that's because now I'm gonna get a little deep, but just stay with me here. So growing up in the '80s, I don't know if some of y'all might not be old enough to remember, what the '80s were like. Thank you for making me feel old, Rel. I appreciate it.
Nah, 80 what?
I remember a
So
little bit of
okay,
it.
I was 80s.
Little
I was
bit.
born in the 80s,
I was
but I
born
was
in
a
the
young
80s.
one.
I
I was a
remember.
bit.
I remember a little bit.
fuck all y'all young mother. Well, back in the '80s,
Okay,
in the
back in the 80s.
1880s, no, back then, like all the top models, all the supermodels were white. All the Playboy bunnies were white. All the girls in the music videos, Motley Crue. So all you saw as a young boy growing up in the '80s were these this white ideal of blonde, busty, blue-eyed women all over the place on TV. Only time you saw a black woman was in, maybe some sitcoms like The Cosby Show, where they were celebrated. Black women weren't really celebrated in the early '80s. It
Shout
was
out
most,
Felicia Rashad.
man, that woman is up there with Rosa Parks. She's a pioneer. What she did for black female self-esteem, but that's another story. But and like even if she was celebrated, it was usually the light skinned black woman. So to me, as a young boy, I said to myself, well, the ideal type of woman has to be white because all over the place, that's all you see. Now, when you see black women on TV, they're usually some kind of criminal, some kind of baby mama, some kind of welfare woman. So as a youngster, I associated, being black with negativity, unfortunately. But as I grew older, and thankfully, I had an aunt who really, sat me down and gave me some things to read about African history, Black American history, and it opened my eyes to why things are the way they are, and that there's nothing wrong with being black. Matter of fact, on this planet, being black is actually the best thing you can be because I don't want to get again too deep, but we live on a sun-drenched planet. Melanin is like chlorophyll. It is a superpower. The
There
blacker
you
you
go.
are, the better off you are on this planet. So once I realized the beauty of being melanated, then I said to myself, wait a minute, why am I fetishizing the other when what I am is essentially the epitome of what a human being is supposed to look like on this planet. Black skin, thick lips, brown eyes, kinky hair. So once I realized and I started to understand that being black was not a curse, like some people taught it. I went to Catholic school, so they taught us about the curse of Ham and all that bullshit, which is why I would never send my kid to Catholic school because. But once I realized that it's not a curse, that black people were the first people here, and the other people who were here came after us. Anyway, so I started to learn to love blackness. So I said, wait a minute. Like I remember the first time I saw Naomi Campbell and on a runway, I said, damn, she's
Love her.
fine.
Shout
And
out to
like from
Nicole.
that moment, I said, yo, and mind you, she was not, a thin lipped, light skinned, you know, ambiguously black woman. She was like she black as can be. Like ain't no questioning where she's black. And I said to myself, damn, she's fine. And then as I got older, I realized, I started to appreciate the beauty of black women. So by the time I was of dating age, like my
What
favorite
age is
women were
that?
black. Let's say like 12,
I mean, what
like
I was
12,
about to say that.
13.
What is dating age? Okay,
Yeah, like
okay.
I mean,
So
like
I've been dating since
like
10.
when you start to be old enough to say, okay, you want to go to the movies with me, what I mean, that kind of thing. So like 12, 13 years old, so thankfully I lived in the Bronx, which is you either
Spanish
black
a
or
lot
Puerto
of
Rican in the
people.
Bronx. That's
There's a
it.
lot of
You
saying.
either black,
The Bronx
you
is
either
its own location though.
you either
Like,
black or Puerto Rican in the Bronx. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're Chinese, you better pick a side because you got to roll with one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mo,
So
have you dated Chinese, Mo?
an Asian,
Asian, like Indian, like Asian, Indian, or Chinese?
mm, not full blooded. Like they were mixed, like half Chinese and
you know
half
what's
black, or half
you know
Oh,
what's
Filipino and
crazy?
half black. Huh?
You know what's crazy? I look at you and I just feel like you just date them all like tie tie.
What do
Like
you say?
Not
When you say date them all, what do you mean all?
date them all. You
like
don't care
White?
what. Hey,
For some
so
reason, people think I would date a white girl, and trust me, I'm too pro black to date a white woman because I wouldn't be dating them for anything other than just for the novelty of dating a white woman. That's it.
so. Okay, let me ask you a question.
good credit.
Okay, you say how you would date a black woman, right? So if the girl was half black, half Chinese, would you still consider her to be black and date her?
Yes, yes,
that's a black woman. That's a
That's a
black
black
woman.
that's
woman.
black
That's a black woman.
because
You got
Chinese
a
are
you got a
melanated
cup of
people.
coffee. You got my father said this, and I live by this. You got a cup of coffee. You drop 1 teaspoon of no. You got a cup of milk. You drop 1 teaspoon of coffee in there. You got light coffee. It's
Yes,
that
you do.
simple.
You have a
It's that
latte.
simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. That's a black woman.
No,
Yes.
I just want to be clear because a lot of people don't see it as that.
You know, I don't know why people split that hair because most of us, if you look back in your history, you're not 100% black anyway. There's somebody white in your family tree. There might be somebody Asian or Indian in your family tree. Hardly
Yeah.
anybody walking around right now in America is 100% black. So I don't know
My
why
great great
anybody.
grandfather.
Well, congratulations to you, Rel. You're a lucky man.
Well,
I got
all
two
my
white
heritage
people in
is
my
black, black,
family
black, black,
tree.
black.
Nah, you gotta do that tree thing, that DNA testing
This
to
is
Well,
all
show me.
Nigerian blood here.
I
There's
have pictures.
no other blood.
You know
All the
what's
pictures
crazy?
I
Listen,
got is
I'm
black
I
Indian
have
people. Black, black,
I
Nigerian.
have
black, black,
features.
black.
Yo, I have pictures on my mother's side. Like my mother's grandmother is half white. On my father's side, my father's great grandmother is half white. So they're in my, and I have pictures of both of them. Like I have like they were like, you know, ever seen people who go to safari? Like white people go to safari and they have on those safari clothes.
Yeah.
That's how they look in the pictures. Like they're white. But to me, now once you have black and anything else, to me, I think the black is so strong that it cancels. Well, not cancels
Yeah,
out, but the black is so strong, especially if you're raised with the black parent.
those are probably
So you're
something.
in the black culture. It's so strong that I consider you black. I don't consider nobody half. You black.
So Mo, you said something, and it kind of got me to thinking. You said you only date a white woman for the experience.
Yes.
My question is, what experience are you talking
Novelty.
about? Like the novelty of saying I dated a white woman?
Right. Yes. Just to see what it's actually like. Like that's
Now,
probably the
I
only
thought you
reason
was
I
getting
would.
perks.
now
Huh?
me.
Like, I thought you was getting perks. Like, they swipe their credit card, something pop up, like you just won $1 million for being her dude. Like, I thought it was perks out here that you was
Not
talking about.
There might
every,
be, but I don't know.
every white person ain't rich, Tony.
exactly.
I ain't saying every white person is rich. I'm saying I thought he was talking
Y'all some
about
Trump
getting some
country.
type of perks.
Well, like Nikki, I also agree that love is love. What if a white person is the person for you, Mo? How would you ever find out if you just dating them a
My
date?
friend, Rel, I highly
My
doubt that.
friend.
What?
I
You highly
highly
doubt
doubt
what?
that.
You highly
Okay,
doubt
That
what?
that
That a
that my
white person is for
soulmate is a
him.
white woman. I'd highly doubt that
okay.
because the way I see the world is such that my opinions on things, she would have to be a very progressive white woman as far as socially and politically to not be offended by, the things I say.
Well,
Because I have some very strong
Those
opinions
exist.
about.
no, but
Those
those
exist.
exist. You'll
Those
see
But
them
exist.
white women out here. I'm,
I ain't. I mean,
they be
sometimes
they be they be
sometimes
going
I feel
in.
like
Some of them
they
be
they
going
they
in.
do that for show though. Sometimes I feel like they're not genuinely
No, I think some of
as
them
progressive
are.
as.
No, I've met a couple of them that is not for show. That they when I mean they're like up in there talking about some. Yeah, I'm about to go to DC next weekend and I'm about to protest. And I'm like,
Yes.
and me being a black
Yes.
woman. And I should be up there protesting. Well, I'm like, yeah, I ain't going to DC, but you go ahead
Right.
and,
No,
There
and do
I
there's a
it.
get
lot of
that.
them.
But
I get
I feel
that.
like a lot of them are progressive, and a lot of them are progressive due to the fact that they know that if they end up with a black man, their children are gonna end up in those situations. So they have to
Mm-hmm.
kind of speak up. And I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them who are in interracial marriages tend to speak up for that reason because that could happen to their child.
Because
Because a
now
Mm-hmm.
their
lot of
child is
them,
gonna be black.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
they know that their child walking down the street, a
Right.
police officer is not going to see or the fact that he might have a white mom. He's black in
Mm-hmm.
their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to speak up. Like a prime example, I don't know if you guys saw the Colin Kaepernick documentary.
The show on Netflix.
His parents were white, and
Yep.
it got to a point where his parents had to speak up because of the fact that they needed to understand, even though he's black, he's still our kid. What you're doing is wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
they spoke up about it. What was another show? Another movie, Blindside.
Yep.
The black boy who was raised by a white mom.
Michael
Nope,
Orr.
that's my baby. That's my boy. You ain't gonna sit here and play him. But she still respected the parents, like that where he came from at the end of the day. So I feel like as long as they respect the where they came from, and I think it's going back to culture, it has to be a respect there. There has to be some level of respect and some level of humbleness to bring yourself down to understand that you're entering in a world where you don't have any understanding about it, and it's for you to open up your eyes and learn what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and take that in and be receptive to it, because not a lot of people are receptive to it. They're not even trying to hear it.
And,
And
Z,
that
and, and
and
that,
it
that's all
takes a
good.
step though. Let's take a step forward, right? These interracial relationships that we see, when it comes to having children, now it's a different level because what are we teaching the children? Because the black side, they have a white mom. Is she teaching them about their black culture and all this stuff? It's just, let me
That's
stick
my
to my
point.
black
But
man.
my point is, if you're dating a black man, you should be in that. You have
They got
to.
to do their research, and not a lot of
Yeah, but I'm
people is
saying she
really
needs.
willing to do that research.
But
I agree
some
with
of
you,
them
Tony.
You got to
are.
do research
Some of them
about combing
are.
that child hair because their hair is not like yours, really.
I feel
You
like
got to
some
do
of them are.
research about.
I feel like there's some parents who are, and some parents who are oblivious to it. Like some of them, I'm about to put her name out there, Madonna, who went and adopted some black kids. But I'm looking like, are you teaching these kids? Are you educating them about where they're coming from? Because two of them, I think she adopted from
I think
African
when was
culture, like one
yeah,
from Africa. Like, do you take that kid back home so he knows his people? Are you just like just adopting him and then just exposing him to your whiteness?
most
so,
likely.
so I have a few statements to say about that because that's a good question about raising a kid in an interracial relationship. If we have a kid, if I was to have a kid with a white woman or an Asian woman or any woman of another race, it's not our job to teach them about the race. Our job is to make them a credible human being. So we're just going to teach them right or wrong. But as they grow up, they learn stuff on their own, like how to comb their hair and stuff like that. But that comes with growing up. The job as a parent is not to say, I need to make sure you're intertwined with culture. It's to make sure that you are a credible human being. You are a good person. That is the job of a parent. And that's what I think an interracial couple would do. Just try to
So you're
make
not
their
going to
child.
educate them about their culture.
It's not force. You don't force education about culture because my family didn't force education about culture on me. It just happens as you grow.
For
Well, let me ask you
me,
a
I'm
question.
sorry.
What
Go.
what was the part of the culture that you say that they didn't force on you?
Again, like I said, going back as far as I know, I'm just a black African American man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, my family didn't teach me that I should listen to hip hop and R&B. It was just played. My family didn't teach me that should like fried chicken. I just like fried chicken. My family didn't teach me that I should like soul food. I just like soul food. You cook it, I eat it, I like it. It is what it is. It's not like, oh no, you go and eat this.
But it's
No.
something that's learned because your family's doing it over and over and over. It starts in the home and
It's
then it goes
tradition
out.
that
And if you are in an interracial relationship and you have a kid, again, I know how to cook the food that I like. So therefore, if I'm cooking for my family, I'm going to cook the food that I like. It's not me saying this is your culture, this is what I make, and you tell me if you like it or
But
not.
so when I'm saying, okay, so when you're saying culture, right? there's some stigmas in our culture. So you're not going to teach your blacks. Let's say you wind up marrying someone who's Asian or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. That child is considered, like you guys said, to be black.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be real. Dealing in this society where a black man is out here in these streets, are you not going to have that serious conversation with your son pertaining to when approaching a police officer because the fact that he's black?
Of
That's a
course, I
part
would.
of our culture.
Of course, I would.
That's still a part of our culture.
I want to say it's not. I don't want to. Okay, I'll say it's our culture because of what Mo said before about how Spanish people are still black people, because Spanish people get approached too. And yes, I will definitely have that conversation with my child. But if I had a child with an Asian woman, my child will be allowed to look me in the eye when we having a conversation. While in Asian society, children aren't allowed to look them in the eye. That's not nothing that I would partake in my household. When me and my child are talking, I want the respect of you looking me in my face and you understanding what I'm saying.
And that's
That
Wait a
sounds like a
second.
difference of cultural ideals, though.
and
Because
that's
I
and
mean,
that's
you pass down cultures passively. Like you don't necessarily say,
Right.
"Okay, son, we're eating chicken because black people eat chicken." Like
No, we eating chicken
it's
because
not
that's what
passed
I
down
cook
that way.
tonight.
okay. So I
That's
get
what. But
what
that's
you're saying as far as culture, but I think is if I was to marry someone who was Asian or from a different race, I think it depends on when they're dealing with their grandparents or dealing with someone from her side of the family. They have to show that family that side of respect by not looking them in the eye. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to kind of teach them in a sense that when you're dealing with me, just me, you're going to look at me in my eye. When you're dealing
mm,
with the family members, you cannot look at me in my, like when I had to also learn in my African culture, when I saw my elders, I had to kneel down. There were times where I had friends, African American friends, and I saw my uncle in the street and I knelt down. My friends was like, "What the fuck you doing?" They ain't kings, like, and I'm like, "No, it's a cultural thing. It's just
It
show of
is.
respect." And my parents had to teach me that. I was taught that, and I feel like in my culture, for me, as far as culture wise, I'm going to teach my kids. Even if I'm dealing with someone, whether they're African American, they're going back home to Africa. You're gonna know your culture. You're gonna know what is respectful about. You're gonna know where you came from. It's just, I feel like it's something essential that they need to know.
So
Period.
somebody had a comment in it. They said, but just like if a family that speaks a different language, then you marry outside, why wouldn't you teach them the native language? I agree
Exactly.
with that. You
Virginia
should teach.
Kathy. Let's say her name. Virginia Kathy in the house.
Yeah,
Now,
Virginia
what are your
Kathy,
thoughts
my
on
fault.
this?
And
My
that's
thing is, if I'm dating a Spanish woman, I can't be mad that she teaches my child Spanish. No, I don't know Spanish, but again, if her first language is Spanish and she's teaching her child Spanish, it's not my space to be like, oh no, this is a black man, you shouldn't teach him Spanish. Or this is a black woman, you should. No, go ahead. Just like if I teach our child a different language that I know, she can't be against it. It's just better in our child to be a better human being. It's not necessarily a culture thing. It's just making our child well rounded for the world outside. The world is a scary place. And the last thing you want is your child to be hurt out there in the world. So, of course, you teach your child the rights, what you believe to be the rights and wrongs, and how to be a civil human being.
but bro, I think you're
Know
kind of
this.
splitting the hair with culture. Like two things can happen at the same time. You can teach your kid about black culture. Your Latino wife can teach your kid about Latin culture, teach them Spanish. So when they go to their abuela, they can speak Spanish to their abuela. When they go to your mother's house, they can talk to your mom. You know, in what do they call that now? Black vernacular or whatever. What is that term
Mm-hmm.
that they're using now? But
And
whatever
in
the
the
point
job
may be.
world, in the
And
career
and and
world.
and the culture grounds you to your history. Like I can't imagine having a kid and my kid not learning Jamaican culture. Obviously, I'm Jamaican. That's why I say that.
So,
I'm
so
sending my
here's
kids
my
to Jamaica every summer
Me
to
too.
to, to
here,
But
with my
look,
aunts and
Back
my
home.
cousins. They they
here,
they're gonna they're
here's
gonna
but
get
look,
that culture for sure. That's
here's my
it
that's
thing.
part of
says
it. That's where they
growing
come
It's
from.
it's a
it
difference
says
between
growing up a mixed race child in the US is different than growing up that
Growing them
child
up on the
in
island.
the islands, which is true. Which
okay.
But
is true.
it is true, but it's also true. It's because they grew up on the islands. However, it's also how you raise the child. Like if you take them back home, like
Like an
Momo said,
islander.
back summer, like me, when summer came, I was in Niger Straits. My mom put me on a plane. Like I got off the plane and I'm sitting there and I appreciate everything that my mom did for us because when I got there was no running hot water.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is there no running hot water? I was
Jamaica
mad.
too.
Like, and then I had to go to the well and get water. it was hard, but you appreciate that. And not only that, when you see people on the street, when you see how the street food is made, you appreciate certain things more, to the point, like, even me now in America, there's times where I was wishing I was back home. There's times I was wishing, even now, like, I'm like, I wish I could get on the plane and just go back home, eat food, and just chill, because it's just, I just feel, even though I was born back home, but even with my brothers, they were born here. When you go back home, it's a different vibe. And when you teach that to your kids, they know that they have somewhere where they can just go back home. That's where their home is. And I think that's based on culture wise, like, period. But if you don't teach that to your children, then they don't have that respect for back home. And
Right.
I see it all the
And
time.
they didn't have that connection
They
to.
don't have that connection back home. And I see it all the time, where I've met kids who are, their parents are Nigerian, but they were born and raised here. I'm like, oh, when was the last time you went back home? And the doctors are like, oh, I like, let me just give a prime example. A doctor that I know, straight up Nigerian. And I would have expected him to say, oh, that he takes his daughters or his kids back home to Nigeria. Oh, they don't go back home. I'm like, what you mean they don't go back home? You got a whole mansion back home in Nigeria and you don't take them back home? Nope, he don't take them back home. So how are you expecting them to know the culture and know what it is to be Nigerian when you don't even take them back home?
So I
That's
have
a
a
crime.
question for Nikki. Nikki, you're from where exactly? Your family?
I'm from here. I'm from the United States. I was born
You
here.
have
I
no,
was
like you
born
have
here
down
and
south
raised in New York.
family?
I have
No,
family
like
though in the South.
right. So
So my
let's say you have
grandmother and so my grandmother and great grands are from the South, from like South
so
Carolina.
let's say now you have a child with a white man, right? And y'all go down south to visit your family down there, and they cooking up all the soul foods and stuff. And he's like, I don't want my child to eat that. We don't
Oh,
eat that.
that's not happening. Because if he's
We don't
with
eat
me, he
that.
already should respect that I eat this certain type of food.
Exactly.
And usually he might even be, he
But you
should
see
be
people with
open
two
to the
colors
fact
when a
that
child is in the mix at
I'm
this
with
point.
this woman, right? Like, you should be already in tune. That's how I feel. If he's not in
Yeah.
tune, I already
But
would
that's
feel like
you eating
maybe
what
this is
you
not
eat.
gonna work.
But
Because
that's you
usually
eating what
that
you
man is
eat.
into you to try things with you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
This is a
I agree with
conversation
Nikki.
that needs to be had before a child comes into the play.
Right,
Because
That's a
because he
fact.
has
you're
to
an
be
adult,
connected with
right?
you and your background, and the same way you should be in tune with their background. So that's like totally different. I couldn't date a white man that's like, no, so you want to cook chicken tonight?
I feel like
You know how many meals we make with chicken?
You making
Fried
neck
chicken,
bones
baked
for
chicken,
real?
stewed chicken.
But I feel like when you're
Like,
dating someone, you should be able to take them back home where you come from, for them to see
Exactly.
and try. And if you're not, if you can't really cook it in the house, then go out and buy the food somewhere and have them try it, because you need for them to understand, this is my culture. These are the things that we do in my culture. These are things that how we eat. And if they can't really get with it, then they ain't for you.
That's
They
a
gotta
fact.
go.
exactly.
I'm not gonna say
I'm still trying to taste
they gotta
fufu.
go, but they ain't for you.
Oh, fufu, don't worry, I got you. I just cooked tonight.
Okay.
I had F4 and fufu. I just cooked a whole bunch of stuff.
But you know what it is? If you
The
open-minded,
jollof rice.
but I wouldn't date nobody that's not open-minded, period. It doesn't matter. Even my own race.
That's a
Some
fact.
of our own race is not open-minded to certain things. Don't
That's
get
a
me
fact.
wrong, they can relate to us in a certain way because we the same,
Right.
race, but that doesn't mean they in tune with a lot of things as well.
Let's
I ain't
stay
gonna lie,
here.
Nikki. Let me
Let's
ask you a question.
hold on. Let's stay on this, right? So this is where the dating outside your culture comes in. Because although I'm a black woman, Ty is a black man, y'all, right? I'm from Tobago. Just because I'm from Tobago and no, I'm sorry, just because I'm a black woman and Tata is a black man, I'm from Tobago, Tata's from the US. He might not understand my culture. And then when I get dressed up to go carnival,
That conversation needs to be had
he ready
immediately.
to he ready to jump down my throat, right?
But
So
the same
this
thing
is
needs to
Carnival
where
be said.
conversation.
understanding each
The
other's
same thing
culture comes in as well.
the same thing needs to be said if I say, yo, I'm going to Summer Jam. You gotta understand I'm going to Summer Jam. Or I'm going to
Exactly.
Powerhouse. You gotta understand I'm going to Powerhouse.
I think it's certain things. It's just certain things you gotta understand. If she's going to carnival, you gotta understand that's a part of her culture. Or if he's going to summer jam or going to, and some people do this. They go where they do an annual family thing where they go to Colorado and go skiing, black skiing. You know, if it's something that they do annually, or something that is about the culture that they just do, you have to accept that. You have to either you want to be a part of it and participate. You got to either participate with it or just be understanding about it. Is just something you have to accept if you're going to be with that person in that relationship.
Exactly.
And if you're not willing to accept it,
taking people to Jamaica?
I have the
Mo. Oh, he got
damn.
Mo said he not taking nobody nowhere. Good night.
He's not taking no. He said goodbye.
Good night, y'all.
I'm not taking nobody nowhere. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this. And when we were talking about food, so Nikki, I know you, like you said, you're from the South. There was certain, like, so Troy's family is from the South, and there's certain things he used to tell me that they eat, like squirrel, and certain things from the South. Like they go hunting for squirrel.
Yes, yes. People in the South, yes. Some people in the South eat squirrel. Yes.
Yeah, some people in the South they eat squirrel.
But
they eat bear.
Saying, I'm not that South.
I know some people are not that South, but okay, let me give a promise. Alligator. Like
alligator. I'm not even gonna lie.
So I can
alligator
say
tastes
the
good.
grandparents probably
didn't know I had it until I had it.
So there's certain things there's certain things that I can
chitlins.
Say.
I don't do chitlins
and stuff
like
right.
I can't do chitlins anyway. I can't do anything
chitlins
pork wise. There's certain things I'm not gonna lie. I'm willing to try if I had to be, like, if I am in a relationship, but there's certain things I'm like, babe, so I love you though. But listen, that turtle,
love only goes so far.
That
so
what if
I'm not
really sure about.
What if they put it on a plate and they don't tell you what it is and tell you to try it?
Yeah, I know people in the South eat squirrel. And
you know what? Let's not be offensive, right? So in my country, they do iguana, they do rabbit.
Oh, yeah, but they
what
do
is it?
Iguana.
They do.
They
call these wild meat. They do these wild meat. I may not eat it. I don't eat bush meat. I may not eat it, but it's still a part of my culture, right? This is things you go to my island and you get it. It's aphrodisiac or whatever. But before you got cut off, we were trying to figure out, Momo, you taking these ladies back to Jamaica? What's up?
Listen, any woman that I see a future with, they have to go to Jamaica to meet my girl cousins, because my girl cousins let me know but they're not, she ain't shit. So they're gonna have to go meet my girl, because I got two sides of my family. One side, my dad's side, they're Christian, and you know them Christian women have a way of feeling bullshit when it enters the room. The other side of the family, my mom's side, is from the hood in Jamaica. So those are hood bitches. I'm like the dance hall queen chicks. So that side of the family, they can tell if she trying to come up on me, you know what I mean, on some foolishness. So I have a lot of female cousins who won't get me wrong, so they got to meet all of them in Jamaica. We got to go to Jamaica.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
So that's for sure.
I 100% agree with you, my brother. I mean, if I'm serious about any woman, I would expect her to meet my family too.
Definitely, because when you long term with somebody, you're basically marrying their family, right? Especially marriage or even a child. That part of the family you can't ignore it forever, because you're gonna be around them. They're gonna be in your life.
They gotta see where you know what I'm saying.
So you gotta take that into account too.
Listen, right. I agree, because I already know you're gonna have to come back with me to Nigeria. So just know that there's no running hot water. Unless we staying in a hotel, you gonna stay like in the village with my family. Like it's gonna be fun.
I'm from the island. You used to this?
No, but not everybody. But not everybody. Somebody who's American.
Yo, when I tell you, Wassa be messing up back home all the time.
See, look at Ralph's face.
Ain't no water, ain't no cars.
When my brothers went back. Okay, when I took I'm gonna say this. My brothers, their first time going back home to Nigeria, they suffered. When I mean they suffer, hey, I still laugh about it. There was no McDonald's. There was no Burger King.
Right?
There was no chicken shack around the corner.
Now we have
No
all of that
Philly
now.
cheesesteak that
I
they
gotta
could go and
upgrade.
get. They had to eat street food. So I still remember the day we went on the street, and it was me and my brother, and they do this grilled plantain where they grill it on the grill with nuts, and I was souped. I was like, yes, I want some of this. So I went to my brother. He was hungry. He was like, can we get a cheeseburger? I'm like, bro, ain't no cheeseburger. You gonna eat this? You gonna eat this plantain with these nuts, or you ain't eating nothing? My brother starved, but when I mean they starved, I think they only ate rice and like meat that whole time
Oh my.
on the trip.
No, I'm not starving for nobody, so I'll try anything
I'm
at least
weak.
one time.
I'm so greedy. I'd be like, all right, give me
Yeah,
something.
you said
That's
emergency
a
meat
fact.
something.
That's
Listen,
a
but there's
fact.
other street food. Like there were certain things my brothers and them weren't willing to try. Like they had like fish. You know how they have goat soup. They had like we had pepper soup, what we call pepper soup, but it was made with fish. But it had different spices and like spinach and greens in it. My brothers looked at it. They were like, nah, I'm not eating this. And it was made on it like in a shack.
I
And
get, I
Mama.
get, I'll
That's where
give
the
you a
best food
prime
comes from.
example.
that's why. Listen, I remember going back home, a lady in a shack, and all she had was like a lantern in the corner, and she was serving food. I had bought my own bowl. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Just pour me some in here, and how much is it? And I ate from that little shack, and it was a bang.
No, some race really got them survival techniques down pat. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a
Some go
fact.
down. I
Listen,
gotta be with them. They know how to make it work.
That's a
listen.
Hold
fact.
on, Momo. Your speaker thing is doing a funny thing again.
You gonna have to mute it. Just mute it. Oh, he
It's
logged off.
no, but it sounds like a squirrel is like doing it.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But
But I'll be
I'll,
honest with y'all.
let
Uh,
me see. Back.
I've went down south. I've had alligator before. I've had snake before. I've had cow tongue before. And until they tell you what it is, you don't know. Like I had crickets
That
before.
should sound hard to chew.
I've had frog legs, and I thought it was chicken wings.
The frog legs.
Until my aunt tell me, yeah, that's frog legs.
Were they good?
They're very very
Gamey,
tender
right?
to yeah like when
I've
they're
had it.
tough.
It's
They're tough,
gamey.
but they're good. Alligator tastes like literally it tastes like spicy chicken. That's it.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken. I heard alligator tastes like chicken. I want
It
to
tastes
try
like spicy
alligator.
chicken.
I
But
want to try
again,
alligator.
up here, my mom, because my grandmother grew up with her family in the South and she came up here, my mom makes neck bones. My friends laugh at me every time I say I'm eating neck bones because they never heard of it. But
What's
neck
For
neck
bones is
real,
bones?
big.
neck
What's
bones
neck
is
bones?
neck
Neck
bones
bones
be
is
hitting.
basically what it is.
If you let
It's a
it cook
pork.
for a long time
It's
too,
like it's like pork oxtails but bigger. That's all it is. Them shits is like this big.
Oh,
What animal did these neck come from?
from the pork
You
first.
either get neck bones from either a pig or from a cow. That's it. It's either
it's
beef or
good. You
pork.
gotta try it. Y'all gotta try it.
But
It's
they
Neck
good.
have
bones
I
is
turkey
can't eat
good.
as
pork, so
well.
I can't try
Oh,
it.
you can. You can. Okay.
Neck bone. You can get beef neck bones from a
Beef.
cow.
Yeah, you could get the
Yeah,
beef.
that's
Right.
oxtails.
Um.
It's like oxtails, but it's bigger. Them shits is like this big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, them shits is good.
So
It's really
so take going backwards, right? So as a kid, right, I grew up seeing my dad date white women. I always thought in my head that the only black woman my father dated was my mom, especially since I'm his only child, right? Every white woman he brought and introduced to me was a sweetheart. I'm still cool with one of them till this day. So I grew up seeing interracial relationships because of my dad.
might be why
Doesn't
you the
mean I want to
opposite.
be in one. Does not mean I want to be in one. It
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 doesn't.
also told me that that's not for me.
Okay. Okay. I'll say this. 2004. I was what, like 12 years old. I had a crush on a white girl. It is what it is. Sean Johnson was in the Olympics. She
Damn,
was
nigga, you only
fire. I
12 in
was like, yo,
2004?
she fire. 2004. And during the Olympics, Sean Johnson, you can look her up. She was a fire white girl. It is what it is. I'm just happy that my parents installed in me to love who you want to love and not judge somebody by the color of their skin. If you like a white woman, you like a white woman. You like an Asian woman, you like an Asian woman. It is what it is.
But it's
Now,
also
are they?
who you're attracted to, right?
There you go. There you
It's
go.
also who you're attracted to. So if I don't get googly eyes for a white man, I just don't get like it gotta tickle my
So
privates.
so
And
Tony Lisa.
looking at a white man don't do that for me.
What if
Tickle your
a fine
fancy.
Asian man walked up
I
to
wasn't
you,
ready for that.
your
Whatever you
height,
want
I wasn't ready for that statement.
and was like, and came up to you and was like throwing swag, and he was fine too. You know he was fine. Would you say no to him? Fine Asian boy.
Fine Asian boy, it's a no.
It's a no. You would say no to him.
So you just
It's
say
a
no.
no.
You wouldn't even give him a chance
You
to
wouldn't
say
even give him a
That's what
hello.
I'm
chance.
Can I take
saying.
you on
Like,
a
If he was
date?
like, I want to take you out
She
to eat,
said
and then he was
I
polite.
allowed him to say hello. I allowed him to say
So,
hello,
and
but
if
I
he
know
wants to take
what
you out on a
he's not.
date, you wouldn't go on a date with him.
I don't want to waste nobody's time. That's
Damn.
my issue. I don't want to waste anybody's time. If you walk up to me and I already don't get tickles, then I don't want to go on a date with you.
But
But what if you get tickles after?
But you probably
Ain't no
have got
tickles
tickled
after.
for your own race and it didn't work.
mm-hmm,
Facts.
But it's
mm-hmm,
not
Nikki,
about it working. I don't want to sit in a relationship where I'm not attracted to you 100% because that means I'm about to step out and go back to my race, back to my fancies, just to get my fancies tickled. I don't
So let
want that. I want to
so
be
let
where
so,
my
Okay,
I
but
want
what
to go
if?
on
so let me
this
ask
But
you a
one.
okay, you
question.
say your
Let
fancy.
me
I
ask
agree
you a
with
question.
Nikki. So I'm gonna say this with Nikki. So Nikki said that okay, even though when you date somebody in the same race, you get your fancy tickle, but sometimes it doesn't work necessarily.
And
So
that's okay.
okay, and that's okay. But why not give that person a chance, even though he doesn't fancy your tickle? Maybe he could fancy your tickle later. It could be something he does. It could be his personality. Just like
I
trying
get
to get
you.
to know the person
I
might
get
change
you.
your mind, and he might give you those tickles later.
I
There you
get you.
go.
I hear what you're saying, but my clitoris don't jump for people who like if it's not jumping from the get-go, it's not about to jump because I get to know you. I have to have that physical attraction and that mental connection. If one is missing, I'm not hopping for you. I'm gonna lay there and fake it like no other.
So
And we don't
so
want that for the
Dang.
rest of our life. We're
So
too
you
grown.
But I
so let
We're
think
me
too
that's
ask you
why
this
grown.
question.
I think, but that's why I think some women, like even myself, we not married because
Girl,
we
I know
go
what I like.
off of the
I like to be pissed off.
comfortability of what we are. Because I'm not gonna lie, my preference is definitely black. I'm not going to, you just asked the question, or have I
You
dated
gotta know
outside
what
of my race?
you like.
I have, but my preference is black men. That's my
Black men
because
that
I was
can
with
pick me
women.
up.
So let's
If you
clarify that.
cannot do the two,
well, what if an
But
Asian man?
if you're
What
not
if
black
an
and
Asian
you
or
cannot
Indian
pick me
man?
up, do not jump in
What
my
if he
DM.
Arab? What if he
So I
Arab?
have a question. I have a question for both Nikki and Tony. I have a question for both of y'all. If you describe your perfect man and this person has all of this, and the only thing missing is that they are not a black man, they are everything else on your list. They check the box. You telling me you're not even going to give them a chance?
no, I would. I said love is love. I'm just saying
She
my
Okay.
would.
preference is with.
So
I'm
Tony
being honest.
Lisa
My
wouldn't.
preference is black,
Tony
but
Lisa's
me,
like
love is
no.
love. If a
Okay.
man will, if a man I got to know is a different race, but he's, you know what I'm saying, supportive, loving, he's into me, he's there for me, we connect, we
There
bond,
you
we got
go.
energy. I'm
There you
fine
go.
with that because I've done that with my own race. And I'd be like, okay, that's a black man, and I was like, oh, he's such a earhead, or he doesn't got his shit together. Like, no, this is a no, and I don't care if you black. Take your
How
black
about
self
you
over
look for
there
a black
and
man
don't come
that's
back.
not an earhead and have all those things that's checked off on your list? And I've learned to not really have a long list. Just have your shit together and let me be attracted to you. Because if I'm not attracted to you and you don't stimulate me mentally, then we're not going anywhere. I'm not gonna hop for
Mentally
you.
is a big,
I'm
big.
not gonna hop
So
in the bed with
so
you.
so here's my thing. Here's my thing. You said if I'm not attracted to you, so you're not attracted to any white men at all.
I'm not. It's gonna be a
So
sexless relationship. I
so
don't want that.
Brad Pitt don't do it for you. George
No.
Clooney don't do it for you. None of them white
Go
men
with
do
the
it for
younger
you.
ones. Channing Tatum. He's
Channing Tatum don't do it for you. Chris Evans don't do it for you. Chris Hemsworth don't do it for you. None of them.
The faces.
No.
Princess.
And
Okay.
some of them
Okay.
love black women.
They be loving them some black women.
They're
I'm
gonna be like,
happy
"Oh,
for
Like,
you
them.
okay, let me give
beautiful
you a
and
prime
tall,
example.
Tonilisa."
Who watched
And I'm
Lost in
not saying
Can
Space?
I?
they're not
Can I?
handsome men. I'm
Can I
not
interject?
saying they're not handsome men. They're just not the men that gets me going.
Can I
Okay.
What did
interject?
Momo want to say? Go ahead, Momo.
And I hope my speaker doesn't still sound fucked up, but this I can't do anything else about it. But Tony, I get where you're coming from because being black, it's not you're not just white people that have black skin. White people aren't just black people who don't have black skin. There's a genuine difference between black people and white people physically, culturally, among other things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not racist to say that. There is a
It's not.
difference between being black and being white. There's a difference between being a black man and a white man. And like you said, Tony, there's plenty of white women who I find attractive, like Scarlett Johansson. To me, my
Fire.
God, that woman is just delicious. But would I want
Fire.
her to be the mother of my child? No, because you know what? I want my child to be black on both sides. I want a child
Why?
who is black on both sides. I don't because
Why?
when I think about having a child and I think about being in a long-term relationship, I don't see myself married to an old white lady in 30, 40 years. I see myself
Okay.
being married to an old black woman who can talk about our experiences of being black on this earth together. And
Okay.
when I go to Thanksgiving, I don't want to think about having to go to the white Thanksgiving where they're serving fucking casserole and unwashed turkey and shit like that.
Oh,
I don't.
sorry.
That's not the reality that I see for myself. I see for
Okay.
myself
So
as a healthy relationship with a black woman, whether she be
so
Jamaican, whether she be African, whether she be Black American. There are a billion black people on the earth at the very least. I've probably
hmm
met maybe 1,000 black women in my life.
hmm
Trust me, there's a black woman out there for me.
So I'm gonna say this, Mo. You said Scarlett Johansson is very attractive to you. Let's say you
Delicious.
did date. Let's say you did date Scarlett Johansson, and she could cook. She can cook because she hung around you long enough that she learned and adapted to the urban culture, and she can cook urban food. You still don't
Mm-hmm.
see a future with her, even though you put in all
No,
these years with her and y'all have connected.
no, no, because to me it's superficial. When I look at things, I look at things from a deeper perspective. I really want a child that is, like I said, is black on both sides because to me, I think there's something special with being black. And I
You
don't
know
want
your
my
child will
child
still
to
be
be
black because you
dilute. I
black.
don't want my child's I don't want my child's racial I don't want my child's blackness to be diluted by being half white. And I know
It
that's
won't
not
be.
politically correct, but I don't care
It won't be
because
because you black, so it won't be.
it but she ain't black. So
It don't
there's
matter.
aspects
It
of,
don't
of
matter.
her non-black culture that my child has to accept as well because my child is also not black. So they can look at their grandparents and say, okay, my grandparents came from Russia. Okay, Russians, they are this, they are that. When I see a future with a woman, I see it with a black woman. And that translates into my attraction for them when I see a black woman that I want to date. I get a feeling, like Tony said, I get a feeling in my gut, like, damn. When I see a white woman, I'm like, oh yeah, she's pretty, but it stops there because I don't see myself having a
It
future with
does.
them because there's
So
something that's missing from that equation, and black women
so
have that thing that's missing
I'm just gonna
for
bring
me.
up two people. I'm just gonna bring up two people. Do you think Barack Obama's blackness is diluted? That's number one. And number
Okay,
two, do you find Zendaya attractive because she's not a full black woman? She's half and half.
okay. So Barack Obama, to me, his blackness is absolutely diluted because he wasn't raised with the African side of his family. He was raised by his white mother and grandparents.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think that he didn't get the full black experience
Okay.
that we got. Us being black men in an urban environment, being raised by black women, I don't think he got that full experience. I mean, the
But
fact
he
that he even got to
understood
be president,
he understood the assignment. He married a black woman, a strong
No,
black
but
woman.
but but
but
but
let's
but
let's, let's be real.
but let's be real.
Let's
His
be real.
his
The
mom
fact that he
took
even
him
got to
back
be
home.
president,
His mom took him back home to his dad's country.
yes,
So I respect
yes,
that about his mom. His mom made him understand where he was from. And his mom was
Right.
like, "This is your father. Your father is Kenyan. You're gonna go back home." And his mom took him back home. So that's one thing I can respect about his mom, that she did let him know, even though you're raised by me, this is your father and this is where you're from.
Right.
So I'll give her
But
that.
he was still a visitor.
Yeah.
He wasn't raised in the culture.
No,
You know
he
what I'm
was.
saying? And the fact that he became president, trust and believe. If he was black on both sides, that man would not have been president. There's a whole nother situation that's happening behind there as well. You know what I mean? So
part two to my question: do you find
oh
Zendaya
yeah,
attractive?
Zendaya. Yeah. Zendaya, she's cute. I mean, she's young, but she's a pretty girl.
You asking a man,
Like, she's
an older
young.
man about Zendaya. What kind of
Yeah.
pedophile-ish
She's young.
nonsense is this, Tata?
I mean, like she's
Yeah,
like in her
listen.
20s, right? Like she's like
Yeah,
of
she's in her
age,
20s.
right?
She's of age. She's of age.
Okay.
Zendaya's like 24,
He's of
25.
age.
She's not underage.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
she's
of
cute.
age.
Yeah, she's cute.
Okay.
She's
Well,
cute.
I don't know anybody older that is half and half. But would you date somebody like that and see a future with somebody like that?
But check
If they
it,
were half
Zendaya is
black,
half white.
If they was half and
Zendaya
half,
is
yeah.
dating a full-on white man right now.
So
Let's
I'm
talk
asking.
about that because
I'm
I have
asking,
a
what would he
child.
date her?
Get out. I have a child with a white man, and then my child go and dating a full-on white. I'm mad as hell.
What are
But
you
her
mad
dad,
about?
but
What are you mad about?
but
what
but
you mad
but to
about? Her
answer
dad
to answer
married a
you,
white
Rel,
woman.
I'm
Her dad was
getting mad
black.
as hell. Get
Her
you a
dad was
chocolate
black.
bag.
but to answer Rel though, if I met a woman who was half black and half white, or half black and half whatever else, like I said before, now I consider her black.
Okay.
So yes, I would consider her, but like a lily white, you know what I mean? Like it's different when they're a lily white, no black at all in their system, nowhere. It's different. So that's, I guess it's not a contradiction to say I would date somebody who's half white, because to me, I consider them black anyway if they have
Well,
a
I'm
black
just saying,
parent.
like you said, for Thanksgiving, at some point you're gonna have to go to the white side of Thanksgiving. At some point,
Well,
That
at some
dry ass
point
if
you
she's
turkey.
are.
half black,
You want to eat
I'm
that
gonna
dry
go to her
turkey?
black family side for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm
And so,
saying?
what if she's
I want
going
to
to
go to
the
that
other
side.
side? What if she's like, okay,
Mm.
last year we went to this side, next year we're going to that side?
It's all
Like,
right. We can have separate
baby,
Thanksgivings this year. You go to your family, I'll go to mine. How about that?
I don't feel so good. I might have to skip Thanksgiving this year.
And
You can go ahead
and
without
also
me, and my ass will
the
be
Why
ex
would you
macaroni in
miss
Tony,
my
a
mama house.
Jamaican Thanksgiving, Mo? Why
and
would you
also
ever miss
What?
a Jamaican Thanksgiving?
Listen, once if she came to my mom's Thanksgiving, she wouldn't even want to go to her white side's Thanksgiving no more, because all type of food is present and accounted for at a Jamaican Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
American, Jamaican, and Black American food. It's all there. You know what I'm
so
saying?
Look,
I got a
Her
question
family
for
gonna
Tony
want to
too.
come over. Like, we coming over your house.
I got a
what
You know
question
what I'm
you
for
saying?
what
Tony
Like,
you
too.
yo,
asking
we
me,
got enough for
bro?
all of y'all.
My
What you
question is,
asking me?
your statement, you said if you dated a white man and y'all had a baby and your child dated a white person, you would be upset. Why would you be upset if you dated somebody outside your race to make them in the first place?
That if I date somebody outside my race, I was sick. I was mentally sick. I was going through it. No offense to anybody who's doing it. I commend y'all. That everything is not for everyone. It's just not for me. That
So
means I wasn't in my right mind in the moment and I slipped up. We had sex without a condom and here's a baby. It's not me marrying a white man. It's just
okay.
that certain situations slipped up. I had a baby. Now
So
I want you
Tony's
to be over
marrying a white
there.
man, y'all. Y'all know that, right?
huh?
We're gonna be right at the wedding. I'm gonna be like, hey
I am
Tom.
too. I
Hey
am
It's
too.
Tom.
not. Hold on. It's not that I'll
And her
be
white boy gonna
upset.
be
Oh,
like this.
I will not be upset. Let me change that. I will not be upset. But I would watch my child like, have you tried? Have you tried it this side before you went here? Because if you tried it here, you wouldn't be here.
Okay, so what if your child? Let me say this. What if you did marry someone who was black, and you ended up with, and your child went to date a white person? Would you feel some type of way? And he bought a white person. Look at Momo's face. Momo's about to have a
I
heart
would,
attack. So what if they
I would
brought a
have to
white
accept.
person home?
I
Or
would
not
have to
necessarily
accept.
white. What if they brought someone who was Asian?
Asian. Yeah.
What if it was
I
a
would have to
Chinese?
accept. I would have to accept whomever my child brings to me because that's who my child loves. But doesn't mean I have to mentally accept that shit. I would be nice to that person for the sake of my child because I love my child, but does not mean I have to full on accept this. Like, I'm not gonna be nasty, but I'm gonna roll my eyes when I walk away sometimes. Like, damn it.
So,
What are you
oh, so
rolling
you're
your
gonna
eyes
be so
for?
you're gonna
They
be a
make your
little
child
bit
happy.
you're gonna be a little bit saucy about it, a little bit saucy.
What you
A
salty
little bit,
about? They
but
make they
eventually,
make your child happy.
parents get over certain stuff. Like
Not
it's a
all
lot of people
parents.
that got married. Let's be real. It's a lot of people that got married and their parents didn't like this person at first, and then eventually down the line they're like, "Oh, that's my daughter-in-law.
Of
I love
course, of course,
her."
of
Damn
course,
well, you ain't love her at the beginning of y'all of their relationship. So
of
come on
course.
now, like I'm gonna be saucy at the beginning, but I'm gonna accept it.
Okay, okay.
But
I
But
respect it. I
but
respect it.
but Tonilisa got a but.
so
But she don't want
so
that happening.
But
I'm not saying that my child is gonna love whoever my child loves, and I'm with it. Now, it's let's take a step back, right? So, do we're all from somewhere different, regardless if y'all two, Tai Tai and Nikki, is from here, right? Z is from Nigeria. Momo's from Jamaica. I'm from Tobago. We all have some type of cultural differences that and I've tried everybody's, cultural dish and all that good stuff. Z been bringing me to like her brother's wedding and getting me into the culture, getting me ready for her wedding and stuff. So here's my thing. When we are now trying to integrate people into our culture, there's always going to be some kind of pushback because that person did not grow up in that same culture as us, right? And I'm always going to use Carnival as an example because every year what's going to see me? Carnival, right? Now, like how Z, we went to Carnival last year. Momo, you was there too. We all went to Carnival last year. It was a shit show slightly, but we all still had fun at the end of the day. Don't shake your head. It's a long story. We ain't gonna share that story. But at the end of the day, we all had fun because now, when it comes to culture, Z, you see how you and your boo boo went to Carnival together, but y'all wasn't together? A lot of people would not understand that culture wise because they don't want their man. Let's use Nicki Minaj and her husband. When she took her husband to Carnival in Trinidad, and he wanted to fight one of our biggest soca artists because he was trying to whine on Nicki. If you don't understand the culture, don't go. You're muted, Momo.
you still muted, Momo. You still muted, Momo. Momo,
You're
you
still
still
muted.
muted. Momo, you still muted.
You're
Unmute,
still
Momo.
muted, my
Unmute.
love. Oh Lord.
There
Okay.
you go.
There you
There
go.
I
you
took it off
go.
mute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Now we can hear you.
yes.
Okay. No, I was just saying, everybody know what that means. That means just get the fuck out. If you don't understand the culture, you can't get with it, then get out. That's one of my first questions when I date a girl who's not Caribbean. Like if we talking, like that first or second conversation, I ask her, have you been to Carnival? What do you think? Do you like Carnival? And depending on her answer, lets me know whether or not there's a future in it for us. Because I'm going to go to Carnival, and I'm going to whine on who I want to whine on. Now, I ain't going to be doing no outrageous, you know what I'm saying, daggering, jumping off of no shit onto a girl. I'm not gonna do all that.
Jumping
But
off the trees and stuff.
you know what I'm saying?
Jump
Like
off the dresser.
I'm not gonna be doing extra shit, but I'm gonna be getting my little wine on here and there. If she wanna get a wine with a guy here and there, that's cool too. But same thing, don't do no extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing outrageous. But
What do you
my
consider
woman has
extra?
to understand Carnival's part of my culture and part of my life, and I'm gonna go. I'm
Wait,
sorry,
what do
Tony,
you
you said
consider
something?
extra?
I mean,
Like
you
her
know it when
laying
you
on the
see it.
floor, legs skin up, and a guy jumping on her type.
Yes,
Okay,
I think
listen.
that's extra.
This ain't no Dexter Daps concert. Your ass ain't gonna be legs flinging like this and all over the.
Yes.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna do that with me. You're gonna do that with me. Take a small wine. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one or two songs and then keep it moving.
See, I saw Troy when I went. I think Tonilisa knows. I saw Troy. Troy, he was having his fun, and it was funny thing because when we met eyes, it was like I see you, see me, see you, see me, see you, and it was like, and I saw the girl, and I'm standing there just watching, right, and just like, and I'm laughing, and he was
Troy
standing
was
there,
living
just
his
like,
best life. He was like,
and
Listen,
Tonilisa,
he might get lost in the
Tonilisa
moment.
saw me
Then he
watching
gotta
him.
come back
To the point where I'm like video and I'm like, I see you, see me, see you. And I'm like, you know what? Let me let you go and do your thing. Because 2 seconds later, I think I saw Al. Al was like up on top of
yo,
picking up the
I
big
was
girl. And I was
living.
just like, let me just walk off. Y'all have y'all fun. Bye. Like, cause I know I'm about to go and have my fun. Bye.
Right.
It was
to
like
So,
fair
so
it
skip.
was a
not
respectful
everybody would be
thing.
okay
Like,
with that.
and I'm okay
Not
So
with it, but then some
everyone
people are not
would be
okay with
okay
that.
with that.
so
And I don't know
let me
why
speak.
is that. Is it? Are they thinking that that person's gonna go home with that person? I'm not really not sure.
So let me
Momo,
speak
mute
as
your
an
mic.
American. Let me
Yes,
speak
as
as
an
an American.
American.
I love Caribbean culture. I love Caribbean women. I've dated a bunch of Caribbean women. I'm all for carnival. I have no problem with a significant other going to carnival if that's what she chooses to do. I have no problem with going to carnival with them. I have no problem with going to carnival by myself. All I'm saying is make sure you still have respect for me and know that I have respect for you. Don't get out there and get stupid. That's all I'm saying. Know the line. Don't
So,
toe the
what
line.
what do you consider getting stupid? Like dancing on somebody else? Is that
No,
getting stupid for
I
you?
go to I go to parties with girls. I see girls grind on dudes all the time. Don't get stupid, and you know what stupid is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Don't end up on World
But
Star like, oh my God, they got to blur out your face because you did something stupid.
I feel like a lot of girls tend to not think when they go on these trips. Like I think there was another Miami trip recently where it was all over YouTube with a girl, some guy put her on like the hood of a car. Coming to find out she had like a man, and her man wound up
Hmm.
having a fight.
He
Why you
drank
get
though.
And
why
I'm
you
He
just
getting on the hood
like,
of the
drank
how
car?
did
though.
you end up on the
If you
hood of
with
a
me, why you
car
getting on the hood of the car?
and the
That's
guy
for your
hugging you
single
on the
friends to
hood
do.
of his car and it's all over? So, and then you know what the worst part about it was? Her friends were there. Her friends were there, and her friends couldn't grab her
Not
by
her
her
real
neck
friends.
and be like, "Bitch, what you doing?"
Not her real friends. So let me ask the fellas this. Are you guys going to events, fetes, parties, carnival
Yes.
with y'all ladies? Like
If
legit.
if
Going with
asked
y'all ladies and not getting
if
mad.
if asked, I would go. Is it something that I asked her to do? No, but if asked, I would go. And
What you
you
mean?
know,
You wouldn't ask a
I
lady to go with you?
no,
You
How do
wouldn't
you
ask the
feel,
lady to
Mama?
go with you,
no.
I I would go to a party with my girl, or carnival with my girl. I
But would
might
you
go.
ask her to go with you?
Would
or
I
would y'all go
ask her
separately?
to go with me? Hmm.
That's a
Um,
no.
that's a good question.
He
I
No.
thinking
never had to
too
think about it
hard.
because I never had to think about it. But I'm just saying, like usually when if she's gonna go, she probably gonna go with her girlfriends. I'm probably gonna
But
go
what if
maybe
she don't
one
have
or two of my
girlfriends to go
homeboys.
with?
And she's waiting for you to ask her to go with her.
Exactly. What if she don't
Go
have
with you.
girlfriends to go with, and then she really doesn't have someone in that culture that's gonna teach her? And then, so what if she wants to go with you?
Okay, so I can answer
Obviously,
that. I
See,
no.
can answer
look,
that.
it's
That means
already
she
a
gonna be.
no. It's already a
I
no.
can answer that.
That
So
means she
it
gonna be on
all
my. She
depends.
gonna be on my shoulder the whole time, yo. I
It all
can't have fun
depends
like
on
that.
how it's presented. Like I got a friend who's Bayesian, right? And if he
Hmm.
hits me up and he's like, "Yo, Rev, we going to crop over," and I'm like, "Cool, we out." And if I'm dating a Bayesian woman and she's saying she's going to crop over, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm going there too," and she's like, "Oh, so we should go together," I would not tell her no. I would not tell her no.
But
Bro,
is your
but why
boys gonna be
wouldn't
cool
you
with it?
ask her if she's not going already? Why wouldn't you say, "Hey, babe, I'm going to crop over. Come with
because
me.
for one, I'm not Caribbean. That's not my culture. So in order for me to participate in anything Caribbean, somebody asks me, and it's not my place to invite somebody to somebody else shit. So again, if my homeboy comes to me and he says he's going to crop over, yo, Rel, we should go. He's inviting Rel. He's not saying Rel and his woman, y'all should go.
But let's take that scenario out of the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go on vacation, and it
Mm-hmm.
so happened to be crop over the same time. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
babe, I'm going here. Let's go.
Who was my original vacation was with? It's all about
A
how it's
group of your
presented.
friends, including females, not just
If it's a
men.
group,
This group of
if it's a group of my friends, that means they invited me. This is a group thing
Guys
that we
don't
I'm
invite
discussed.
saying,
women to group trips.
That's not nothing that I
Just
should
like
be
women
inviting
don't
somebody
invite
that
men
wasn't
to
invited.
group trips.
that's
Like,
not
you
true.
gotta be fair. I don't see me inviting my man to the group trip.
Take
But me and
Yeah,
take
him
that
going on
back.
vacation and doing things, I
yeah,
love to do everything with my partner. But when
yeah.
it comes to certain
Exactly.
events, bye boy, you bye.
No,
I feel
And
the
it has
same
nothing
I
way.
to do with
refuse
being
that.
sneaky, doing anything wrong. If
I
I'm with my girls,
refuse
I don't need
that.
him in their business.
That's a fact. This
They're
is a
grown
group
women.
trip.
They could
My
do what
group
That's
they
if
want. I
they're
invited
know how to
me.
women,
carry
bro.
myself. I don't need him like, you was with Tonilisa and Z, and for Carnival, they was dressed like, oh, that's the
I
culture. But
saw
if
you
he don't
in a
understand that,
thong.
boy, bye. Mind your
No, but
business.
listen, here's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but if you're going with your girls, that's one thing. But if there's men there, like Z's bringing Troy, why can't you say, "Hey, babe, do you want to come with me?" Because
Oh, if it's a
honestly,
couples thing, if it's a couple thing,
it's not a
yes.
couple thing. It's just Z. It's only Z bringing Troy.
Who
Why
else
can't
is
I not
going?
turn around and say, "Babe, come with me"?
Who else is
And the
going? It all depends on the group. Like if it's us five going on vacation together and Z decide to bring her significant other, and she's the only one that's bringing her significant other, why would I want to invite my significant other if nobody knows her but me?
Here's what I'm telling you. If you are not you per se, we've been friends too
Yeah,
long.
in general.
In general. Now, if I've been in a relationship with somebody, me and my partner's moving together, right?
Facts.
We going to fest together. We
Facts.
going to these carnivals together. Don't
Facts.
mean we staying together, but we going.
Facts.
I'm gonna be like, babe, I'm going here. Bring some of your boys. I'm gonna bring some of my girls. We gonna be there, but we not gonna be there. You feel me? We did though.
Okay,
Because
so
at
let
the
me
end of the day, when I'm liquored up, I want my man to be there. You
so let
know,
me
I
ask you
can't.
this
There's
question.
nobody
You
else I
you
can go to and do the things I want to do when I have
you
liquor in my system.
you being my friend, I have a function, right? And I say, Tony, you should pop out to my function. Do you go to your
Hmm.
significant other and say, we go in the rail function?
No, I'm gonna be like, Rel, can I bring my significant other?
And I
If you
tell you,
say yes, I'm
if I
going to
tell you
ask you.
I don't care. I don't care. Do what you want.
Then I'm going to bring my significant other.
But that's the first when I invited you, that's the first thing that's gonna pop in your mind is can I bring my significant other?
Yes, because that's my
So
babe. We're rolling. That is my
Tony,
man. We are
okay,
rolling.
okay,
But it depends
okay,
on
We are
everybody's
there, bro.
relationships is
okay,
different. If your
okay.
relationship is where you and your partner do majority of things together, you may consider that. People that don't do everything together, honestly, unless it's a couples thing, they're not doing that. You're just a different type of woman. Some women
That's a
don't do that
fact.
either. They're not like, hey, can my boo come? Unless they do things all the time, like together, then they might ask their friend, hey, can he
That's
come?
a fact.
Or
That's a fact.
he's free. Can I bring him along?
Right.
But
That's a
most
fact.
people
It's
don't.
different scenarios. Just
And
like
I
if we're going on a girls' brunch, me, you, Z, and the rest of our girlfriends, we going on a girls' brunch. I'm not gonna be like, ladies, can I bring my man? No, babe, you gotta sit this one out.
But I'm gonna
Well,
be
that's
But
a
honest.
fact.
I agree
but
with
it's a
Rel because for Carnival, I wouldn't. If I went with y'all, and just because she's bringing Troy, I'm gonna be honest. If it's not a couples trip, I'm not
I'm
inviting
not
my man.
bringing
Only
mine.
two because
No.
I don't
I'm
need my man
sorry,
around. I don't do my
Carnival,
man
I'm
being.
bringing my
He's not
man.
friends with y'all. He
Y'all
don't
gonna
know
see to do
y'all.
that.
He probably could care less about y'all. Long as he's respectful, I might not do that unless he met y'all. If he
That's a
met y'all
fact.
and we've hung out, then I might be like, oh, you know, Z and Tonilisa, Troy's
That's a
coming.
fact.
Then I
That's
might.
a
But
fact.
honestly, I don't really do the bringing my man with on girls trip with people
If
that
it's
he don't.
yeah,
I've
That he
nah.
don't know. That's a
yeah,
fact.
If it
no.
was a
And I
girls trip,
Then I'll
my
just
the
be in my
brother,
girls
own
trip.
room with my boo, and I meet up with y'all for everything.
But I
that
think
that
like we're
that's
going back
but
to
hey,
culture
listen.
wise and going back to
Right, Troy is that's his
culture.
culture. That's why
If
she's
there's certain
taking
things
him.
about the culture that
And we
they know it's a it's something that they just do. Like okay, prime example, Super Bowl. Some guys just do it with the guys and they don't want the girls there.
That's a
It's
fact.
a
I don't want to
thing.
go there either. That shit is
It's
boring.
just a natural thing, and it could be also pertaining to soccer when it's coming to the World Cup. They don't want
Yep.
no ladies there. It's the boys, and that's it.
That's
And,
a
oh,
fact.
babe, can I come? Come with what? Come with who?
But that's
Come what?
understandable.
You come when I get home.
Come with who? Come with what?
That's one
Some
hundred
women don't
percent
even bother,
understandable.
and there's some Spanish women, and I'm gonna say Spanish in certain cultures where they know if it's World Cup and the boys about to be out, they don't even ask to go. They know, bye, babe, see you soon, deuces. That's what it
But
is.
do
Every
you as a
woman
woman
in
naturally
my
want to go
life.
when guys are watching sports? Do we really want to go see
But
Yeah,
some girls
I
are
do.
like
I
that.
like
I want
sports.
to go. I have no problem watching
I
Super
like
Bowl
sports.
and whatever. But some
I
guys,
even dress
some
up
girls
for the
are want to be
for
there.
the
Some, but
occasion.
it's natural in their culture that nah, you just not
But
invited.
Every woman in my life that I have ever had a conversation with knows how important football is to me. And they know
correct,
Super Bowl Sunday, do not ask me nothing stupid. They
That
know.
means
correct.
you ain't invited. Don't come. You're not coming.
Don't even ask me nothing about it. You know what I'm doing that
Like,
day.
babe,
Don't
where
ask me
you
what I'm doing. Don't
going?
see,
call
Where
me.
I
you
like
Don't
going?
nothing.
sports, but I wouldn't go if it's like you said, just the men. Like I won't do that. I
But
wouldn't
some girls
intrude.
want
Right.
to
But I
go
like
though.
sports, so somebody who date me gonna say they know I like basketball, especially if it's basketball. I'm down. So if it's like a open event, meaning like women, men, whoever, then of course I might be like, hey, what's up? But if it's just like really the men, I don't like to be amongst a bunch of men. I feel like let men be men and I shouldn't feel no way. The
But
same way when it's the girls, I don't want my man like, well, I'm going to. No, you not. Sit this one out, babe. You
but
scaring me.
there's
You want
some
to be involved
cultures
with the woman
where
too much.
it goes the opposite way where it's okay, yeah, the man gonna go out, go and watch their soccer and do whatever, watch their football. But then, oh, you going to a concert? I'm coming with you. Oh, I'm gonna come with you. And you're like, no, but it's a good. No, well, why can't I come with you? And it turns into that possessive thing. Like, what's the problem with me coming with you? And they some cultures where they tend to insert themselves into the girl's life and don't give her that privacy or that freedom where, well, wherever you going, I'm going too. But if it's me, if it's a man, then it's just like, well, I'm the man. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want.
So
Which I've
ex,
seen that. I've
I'm
seen that in certain
I'm
cultures where
I'm gonna
the guy
explain
can
that.
go out and have his fun, but when it's pertaining to her, I'm like, oh, so like I've had situations where I invited a friend out to certain things, and it's like every time her man got to come with her, I'm like, do you not get your freedom? Because I kind of
That's
feel like he gets his freedom when he goes out, but then you stuck at home. But when you want to come out, that's when he want to come out too. Why?
So
Why can't he just stay his ass at
I'm
home?
gonna just talk again as an American because that's not me. But again, her time with her girls is her time with her girls. My time with my fellas is my time with my fellas. And me knowing my fellas, these dudes, they don't mean no malice, but they have no filter. They will cut your ass if you handicap or not. And they mean no malice by it. And some people don't got thick skin to handle it. So it's all about knowing your audience and knowing I gotta ease you into this. I'm not just gonna throw you into the fire to the wolves and then you're gonna be crying sitting in the corner by yourself. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that.
But what I'm saying is, why is there certain cultures? I'm saying as far as where the girl can't go out with her friends by herself, and then they insert. A lot of the men tend to insert themselves and like, well, I'm coming with you. But when it's pertaining to the guys, and he wants to go and hang out with his friends, oh no, she can't. You can't come.
Is that
So
culture or is that
that's
controlling?
I think
Control.
that's.
Which
that
one
sounds
is
like
I think
that?
that's
controlling
also
and
culture.
insecurity. That sounds like
I've
controlling and
seen it.
insecurity.
Right.
It's insecurities, but it's also culture wise. I've seen it in a couple of cultures, in plenty of cultures where they do that, and some women tend to accept that.
Okay. Well, I said that's a
Look,
lot of insecurities to me, but
I don't know
if that's
about
their
those
culture, that's
cultures, but
crazy.
say I know they
That's
exist.
crazy.
I
Huh?
know
What
those
part?
cultures do exist, but all I know is if it's not a girl's thing that we agreed upon, my man coming.
Your man
I
coming?
said what I said.
Your man
But
coming?
I feel like that's a
My man coming.
conversation because depending on, like I said, if you got your own room, no, too, that's different too. You got your own room, that's your business. But I feel like if it was set in stone, like, hey, this is just the females, for you to bring your man, I think it's a violation.
Yeah, I
But
feel
If
like
it
that's
was
what I
set,
even
just said
if it
though.
was set
But
However,
in
that's
I
stone, like meaning like we know Troy goes to, like, for instance, if I joined y'all with Carnival, we know Troy goes, so that wouldn't be my place to be like, yo, Z, Troy coming. We know that, but you get what I'm trying
no,
to
but
say. If
that's what I
it's
just
set like
said. If
it's
it's
just
not
the women,
something, but that's what I
then.
just said. If it's not something that I spoke to the ladies and knew it was all girls, my man is coming.
But long as you're not I hope you're not the friend that act funny because your man there. Because you got women who don't wanna do nothing now and they all up under their
because
man.
they
Then you shouldn't
significant
have
others
came
there.
with us. I'm
I'm
just
gonna
I
be
saying.
honest with you. Even if it is a mixed group, if it's like 5 dudes that I know and 4 girls
like
that I know, and we going
Right?
on
Like, bye,
vacation
Tony.
together,
Go with your
if she
man
bye.
don't
then. You
if she
acting
don't
funny
know
tonight.
nobody, she ain't going.
What?
No. So
Wait,
let's use
Time out. Rel, repeat.
If I'm going on vacation with 5 of my homegirls and 5 of my homeboys, and my significant other don't know nobody, she ain't going. What is she
but
going
that's
for? To
fine.
sit
That's
there
how
underneath
you
me?
feel.
To sit there underneath me?
But then
No.
no, but let me say this. That's a problem. If she even if she doesn't know them, that tells me she's an antisocial person. Because even if you don't know nobody, that's your time to get to know those people.
Yeah,
So that's more of a reason why she should go, so she can be more sociable. If you taking her on that trip and she's gonna be up underneath you the whole trip, that's a problem.
and again, at the top of her to be
Because
social and
that's a
meet
person
somebody
that is
is
not sociable and can't, like, if you
the
take me on a
time
trip and
for
I don't know nobody, I'm gonna get to know you. Hey girl, what's your name? How you doing?
the time for her to get to know somebody and be social is in New York, not when we get on a flight to go somewhere.
But
But
so you're
that's your
basically,
fault.
but you saying
That's
if
not
I
her fault.
don't know
That's
those
your
Rel
fault.
keeping
people,
her
You didn't
away. Rel
introduce
keeping
her.
her away.
but
Exactly. That's
but Ralph,
your fault.
if you didn't introduce me to those people, you're telling me that she can't go on that trip. Period.
No, she can't. No.
Oh, that's a
You don't
problem.
know
But
these.
that's
You don't
once
know these
again
people. You have no
your
reason to
fault.
go.
You never
If you don't know
introduced
these
her
people,
to
you have no
your
reason to
friends.
go.
And now, because you never introduced her to your friends, she can't go on that trip because she don't know anybody.
She shouldn't want to go on that trip because she don't know anybody.
Why
But
wouldn't
you
she?
She
What's
never
the
wouldn't.
problem
She
with?
introduced
know
her.
you.
You
She
never
know
give
you,
her a
Rel.
chance.
She know you.
Yeah.
So you going on a trip to go with me?
No. What?
Long
Okay. I
if she
no.
antisocial, like Z said, if she antisocial, that's different. But if she's a people's person and she can blend, she's gonna meet them, have fun, and they get to know her because that's who you with and who you plan on being with. Why wouldn't she get to know people that you traveling with on the, like, let's say if y'all do this a few times or even once or twice a year. Now it's like every year I can't go with your 10 people. That's whack, Rev.
Yeah,
Now I'm
that's
gonna
why
tell you.
because
I'm
she's up underneath you all the time. That's a problem. That tells me that she's just an antisocial person.
it's not even antisocial. It's you're going on a trip with me and 10 other people that you don't know.
So
What is your expectations on this trip? What are you gonna
Have
do
fun
for
with
fun?
you and them.
have fun
See,
with you
see,
and have
see,
fun
see,
with whoever you meet. Is it time for you?
see. The statement "have fun with you and them."
She gonna
You don't
meet her
even know.
husband on the trip, bro.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. You're a funny individual. My thing with that is I'm all for us having fun together. I will never turn down my significant other from having fun with me. I'm all for my significant other having fun with the people that I socialize with, my friends and family. But if you don't know nobody, now you have the weird awkwardness of you not knowing nobody. Again, I'll read the room. I'm not going to put you in position to fail. Now we get out there on this trip. We in Jamaica, we in Trinidad, we in Cuba somewhere, and somebody offends you, and now you got the sourpuss face all trip. You shouldn't have came.
But they shouldn't
Nah,
You
be
shouldn't have
offending
nah.
came.
her
See, that's the
because
problem.
she your
Well,
wife, your boo, your girlfriend,
yeah,
whoever.
and if
They
somebody
shouldn't
offends
just
her
be
on the trip,
offending
she
her.
should know how to
Then
stay
that
in her
means
place.
something ain't right. Why would they feel
Yeah.
a need to just offend her?
Because again, like I said, my friends, they have no filter. They if you got a disability, they will talk about your disability. They mean no harm about it, but they will talk about it because that's just the way
So
they
what do
are.
they do? Just joke about people while
Oh
they
yeah,
like while y'all partying? They sitting there making jokes,
no, I'm talking
like
about like
or
downtime.
or a topic come up and y'all playing and y'all
Yeah,
mingling
yeah,
and y'all
yeah.
playing
Okay,
games,
let's say
or
we
they
had,
just coming out saying, "Look at you and look at you and look at that." Like, what you mean?
so
Like,
I
what
explain it.
y'all be doing?
Let's say we had dinner. Like we just having a family dinner or friends dinner or whatever, right? And topics come up. People start talking about everything. Talk about sports. Talk about relationship. Talk about that. And they go, you kind of short to be talking about that just because you 5 feet and you get offended by it. They don't mean no harm about it. It's just in the flow of the conversation.
Like, okay, and that's for you to warn her when she goes on the trip, for you to have that conversation with her and be like, listen,
Like they joke around,
they joke around. You might not know certain people, but I need for you to understand that. Don't take offense to what, and it's for her. If they say something out of pocket, then she's like, oh, well, he did warn me about it, so let me not be offended.
too offensive,
I think
right.
when you're
I've
taking
been there.
someone on a trip or taking someone somewhere, or even if you're getting to know someone, you need to, which I kind of messed up on a situation like that, where you need to warn somebody pertaining to what they're going to be dealing with when they get to know different people.
Hmm.
So I think that's something that needs to be said, and I don't think that should be an issue for her or for your significant other to not be able to go on a trip because she doesn't know anybody. That's just kind of,
I,
I feel
I
like.
I keep it the same way. If she going on a trip with a bunch of people, I don't know. I don't want to go because I don't know nobody.
But what if she
And,
wants you
and
to get to know them?
I might not. I consider myself an acquired taste. I'm a very social person, but some people get easily offended. And if I offend one of your friends, then what? Y'all gonna excommunicate me from the group because I offended one of
At
your
the end
friends?
of the day, it's whom you are. So I know if I bring my partner, that the group of friends I have are very inviting. So who he will be safe, right? And then
You will be
if
sick.
he's gonna be safe, he's gonna have fun regardless because the type of friends I have, all of you guys are just welcoming. And you guys gonna be like, are you good? You need this. That's just the type of friends I have. So I'm not even worried about that. But what you're saying is the type of friends you have ain't like that. So
Oh no,
maybe
they
she
very
be with
welcoming. They are very welcoming. It's just like the dynamics of it. Why am I the only person with a significant other on this trip?
Virginia said that's not fair. Give her a chance. Take your girl on the trip.
I'm just
Take your
saying,
girl.
why am I the only person with a significant other on this trip? So when everybody
But
say,
why
"Yo,
do you care about that? What now you're checking for everybody else but yourself.
no, it's not.
I don't
It's
care.
it's it's not
If
that."
it's a man group and a woman group, I'm bringing my significant other because this man on this trip as well. I don't care if none of them go together. We go together.
Okay,
You're a
and
man,
then
I'm a woman, it's men
He could go
and
mingle with
women.
the men. Go
I
mingle
Exactly.
with
mean,
the men.
you would hope that, and you would hope that they would get along. But what if they don't get along? I got a lot of catty female friends. What if they don't get along?
Then I'm here. But I'm not even tripping. Because at the end of the day, when I leave my friends, it's me and you building together.
That's a fact.
So my friends gonna have to understand.
That's a
It's just
fact.
that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm just saying, know your audience,
What's
and
going on with Momo's?
being the
I
only person
don't know,
with a
but I want you
significant
to
other
come
there.
back so we can all say our ending thoughts. Momo.
So
Okay, so let's start saying our endings. Let's start with Tai Tai since he's the only male here right now.
Okay, so y'all know y'all can follow me on Instagram at polo_rel. Again, if you're trying to get in shape, Nels Training on Instagram, get a session going. Go on Amazon, Trouble Souls, cop the book. The book is still out there. Go cop the book, support, and we out. That's just me. I'm still a plug. If you need it, I got it. If I ain't got it, I could get it legally.
legally,
He having me dying when he's saying that.
legally, he said
Exactly.
legally.
Nick, you thought of anything you trying to get from Rel
He
yet?
said
I know.
legally.
I'm still thinking, bro. Well, we gotta talk. I gotta see what the plug got because I
He
might need
said
some.
legally.
I don't know what you working, what you got. But we going to talk. We going to talk.
Listen, if you need it,
Oh,
I got it. If I ain't got it, I can get it.
also, we are trying to do a workout session with him. So
Oh
stay
yes, we
tuned.
got to figure. Yeah.
Stay tuned. That's gonna happen live. Y'all gonna see us dying live. It's okay though.
Facts.
So, so
We
Nikki,
trying to get it
Look at
together,
me.
y'all. We trying to get it
I'm
together.
already discombobulated over here. Over you telling me I'm about to work out.
Nikki, go ahead while he
Okay.
fix her
All
rap.
right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all can catch me on Instagram at Princess Nikki Love.
Z, once again, you can catch me on everything _ A to Z. Catch me with my makeup tutorials and my what is this? DIY projects. Sorry.
I wanted Momo to come back so he could say his own stuff. But I guess we're gonna have to say it. So shout out to Momo who was here. His Instagram is Mauricio, MAURICIO LEVELINUP. Follow him, y'all. Okay? He does
Word.
amazing things. He also has his own talk show that's coming back soon. Stay tuned. Now I am Natural Beauty Mellow, the only one. The only one. Remember that. Shout out to Let's Debate team. I love you guys forever, forever. And of course, shout out to Elegance and Focus for sponsoring us and having my Let's Debate section in the magazine. Always, it's soon dropping. Thank you, Virginia, Kathy, and everybody in the comments that tuned in tonight. I appreciate you guys. And y'all know I am Tonilisa, the one and only. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Deuces.